Hello, welcome back to Venezuela Live Coding. In this episode, I'm decided to do something a little bit simpler. This is actually was inspired by work by Alessandro. It's basically he called it like a melting curve, and he used a couple of blender particles, and I think it was keyed particles, and kind of traced the particles motion. So this is slightly more simple. I think it's basically a lot of curves, but it's a lot of curve, and then they're kind of on top of each other, but they're just slightly being offset, because they're like imagine you have like a bunch of random vertices, and then you have another bunch of random vertices. They are the same number, and then all I did was to connect every point, so you get this really intricate, beautiful, complex looking, even though it's actually super simple. So I'll start from scratch. See the nodes, it's like you only need a few nodes to do that. So that's Sverchok is very powerful for that. Let's use random vector. Start with random vector, and then use a viewer draw. Let's start with a small number, just like 20. We can randomize the seed at some point, but just I'll call this melting curve. So I'm just gonna use these points and kind of scatter, just make a bunch of duplicates of these points. I'm actually gonna use another random vector. So this guy's gonna create instance for those points. But if you notice, by default, each point is pretty much kind of like the same instance. It's just like the same points. We probably want to randomize a little bit, so we need to use range integer and just randomize each point slightly. So we have 20. I'll make a 20 variations. So this number should be the same. I'll make sure they are the same. Okay, so we have I'll make it 30, and then we have 30 random points, and then we have 20 positions to scatter those points. And the next thing I want to do, we can do this in many different ways, but I think we simply just need a UV connection. Make sure it's set to edges, and let's have a look. Oh, actually, if we are using UV connection, we're gonna get this. It's just like each point being connected to itself. So that's not what we want. We probably want to join these random points. So the way to do that is to use apply matrix apply. So I think this should work. So now let's try again. UV connection. It's still connected like that. Okay, if we use V directions, I think this is starting to get somewhere. Random vector is actually super random. You can use noise, which will kind of arrange the points in more kind of predictable kind of way. This one is super random, but it's actually, we are pretty close to what we are trying to do. The next thing we want to do is to use polyline viewer, because this guy will generate a lot of curves, and we can turn single, so it will generate a single object. I think all we need to do is connect this guy to that guy, and now this is like still not what I want. I think I'm probably missing something here. Maybe I need to use list flip. Okay, list flip is unusual kind of operations. In this case, list flip doesn't actually work. I think I need to do it this way, and there you go. It's actually working in this case. So yeah, list flip is actually hard to understand, but basically if you have like a bunch of lists like that, maybe like number like 1 2 3 1 0 1 2, and then list flip gonna flip the list, so it's becoming like 0 0 0 1 1 1 2 2 2, and that way we kind of connect the lines. And if we turn on B-spline, we should get quite complex design that we want. So yeah, it's pretty simple, right? So it's a pretty interesting kind of setup. And this guy is actually a single object, so you can render this out, and it looks quite nice. What else can we do here? Maybe randomize further, randomize input vertices. Thought this is quite nice. I'll probably put this at Sketchfab, perhaps. It's gonna look quite nice. It's pretty complex. You can increase the number of points and maybe scale it up, scale it down. Yeah, I think that's quite nice. Random, but because of the B-spline, it's kind of interpolating every motion. It's almost looking like very, very organic. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this live noding. Hopefully you enjoy this. If you have any questions, feedbacks, let me know in the comment section below. Thanks again for tuning in. I'll see you in the next video.